All right, Larry Krueger here at Levi's from the Pig and a Pickle Krug Show with a little 49er recap of what went on down here in Santa Clara on Saturday. And of course, we're brought to you by Pig and a Pickle, the best barbecue in all of Northern California. Check them out. They're in Emeryville. They're in Corte Madera. They're open 7 days a week from 11 a.m. till 8 p.m. or until they run out, and they do run out. So get there early. And this video is also brought to you by Sharp Corners, Sports Cards and Collectibles, 205 Cypress Avenue in Pacific Grove, California, on the Monterey Peninsula. Go say hi to my good friend, Anthony Catania. He is at 831-521-5264. All right, let's talk a little bit about Saturday down here in Santa Clara. The Niners, one more practice day, and then they get an off day tomorrow. And, of course, they play on Monday night against Aaron Rodgers and the New York Jets as the Niners and the Jets clash to wrap up week one in the NFL. And some of the notes down here today, Christian McCaffrey, Brandon Ayuk, Trent Williams, they all practiced today, getting ready for the game Monday night. All three are expected to go. The Niners are being very close-lipped as far as whether or not Trent Williams will be spelled from time to time by Jalen Moore, but that possibility exists. How many snaps can Ayuk play? I don't know. I would say probably 70% of the snaps. CMC is listed as, now the injuries list is out as well. CMC is listed as questionable with a calf injury / Achilles. My feeling on CMC is just that he means so much to the 49ers, and they have a running back in who's got plenty of talent and he's got plenty of rhythm in Jordan Mason. And I would just play it super conservative. If you really feel like it's, Christian's 50-50, then sit him out. Go with Mason. Mason's not only younger, healthier, fresher, but he's also in a better rhythm. He's been playing the last few weeks. He's been playing in camp. I would have no problem just saying, you know what, Christian, it's September. We want to be playing meaningful games, and we need you to be playing great in January next year, 2025. We need you to be big time. February, first week in February, 2025. September of 2024, you got Jordan Mason. You got other guys. I would use those other guys. So CMC is questionable. Banks with the pinky is questionable, but he's going to go. Yetur Gross-Matos is out with the knee injury. He's not going to go. It's going to be really interesting to see how the Niners minimize the snaps for Leonard Floyd on early downs, first and second down, non-passing downs. Can they protect Floyd by not getting him out there? Can they have a fresh and rested Leonard Floyd, who also had kind of a knee sprain a couple weeks ago? Can they spot him in the first half and use somebody else on first and second downs, the run downs? We're going to find out. I think it's going to be Yetur Gross-Matos normally, but it's not going to be Yetur Gross-Matos in this game. So Gross-Matos out. D. Winters with the ankle injury out. Hufanga, he's listed as doubtful. He's out. He's not going to play. They're going to take it real slow with Hufanga and go with George Odom at free safety. Now, what's interesting is, and I asked Kyle Shanahan about this, the Jets do not travel their corners. So Sauce Gardner will not be following Ayuk around. And I asked Kyle what he thought of that. Does he like that? And he's like, well, and of course the answer is, hey, I like it depending on who the other corner is. If the other corner is no good, then, as far as travel or no travel, yeah, makes a big difference. But if the other corner is DJ Reed, it's not as big of a difference. And what does that mean for those of you? Well, Gardner is probably the best corner in the league, but Reed might be the most underrated defensive player in the league. He's super player, very tough, very physical, not the biggest guy, very instinctive. He's been in this league a long time, cocky, swagger. He's got the whole boat. DJ Reed's real. He's real underrated. And so Kyle says, yeah, even though, it doesn't make it any easier, the fact that Sauce won't travel around the field with Ayuk because you got DJ on the other side, and then they got Michael Carter II in the slot. So the Jets are manned up with, three outstanding corners there. Brandon Allen will be QB2. Kyle was asked about Brandon Allen. Why is he QB2? And, somebody had to be QB2. I mean, the bottom line is Brandon Allen's been in this offense longer. He looked better in the practices. That's really it right there. And it's not set in stone. Breece Hall obviously went to college with Brock Purdy at Iowa State, and he did an interview on the Rich Eisen show. Some funny stuff came up. He says that Brock loves video games. He told Rich that Brock plays the piano, that he likes soap operas and musicals and stuff like that. Hall said that Brock's favorite movie is Mamma Mia. So we might have to ask Brock about Mamma Mia at some point, but that came out this week. Also, the 49ers, after redoing the contracts for Ayuk and Trent Williams, a lot of you have been asking me, hey, where are they on the cap? Can you give us an update? The 49ers will enter the 2024 season with roughly $56 million in available cap space. Now, their plan is to roll over, I'm sure, at least $50 million of that to next year. And if they can roll over all of it, they will, because they've got Brock's contract coming, and that's the plan. So, I guarantee you they're going to try to they'll give themselves flexibility to make a move this year at the trade deadline to add to this team. They're inside their Super Bowl window. It makes perfect sense. They've never hesitated to do that in the past. But in a dream world, they got plenty of depth, don't need to make a trade at the trade deadline, and roll over all $56 million and probably give all of it to Brock Purdy in the offseason. So that is where they're at on the cap. Nick Sorensen indicated to us yesterday that Isaac Yiadom will be the third corner. Obviously Mooney and Lenore, who I talked to today, and Lenore is just chomping at the bit to get out there. He looks like he's primed for a big year. But they're going to be the outside corners in the base, and you're going to see Yiadom in the slot. And then you may see, Mooney outside a little bit in certain situations as well. Or I should say, you might see Lenore inside in certain situations, and you might see some other guys playing outside, but they're going to start with Ward and Lenore and Yiadom as their top three corners. So there you go. There's the full update here in Santa Clara. Got a chance to go out to practice and watched it for 15, 20 minutes. Nothing super eventful. 49ers are bouncing around. I mean, it's a tough wait, right? The league started Thursday night. There was a game on Friday night. You got the games coming up tomorrow, and the Niners got to wait till Monday night. So it's a little bit of a tough wait, especially after a week off leading in. But you know what? They'll love these rest days once the games start coming, one after another. But yeah, Niners-Jets on Monday night. It's going to be an incredible game. I'm thinking it's going to be a low-scoring game. If you're looking to wager on this game, I like the 49ers on the money line, but, because I don't like playing with the numbers in this particular matchup. Is it going to be a close game? Is it not going to be a close game? I can see this game being high-scoring because Rodgers has got weapons and the Niners have weapons, but then you also have two really good defenses. So I don't feel confident in the total because I like the under early on, and the total was bet from 46 down to 43. So, I mean, you see a 3-point movement in the total. That tells you that it's probably going under. If I was wagering on this game, I would probably, I think there's a chance the Niners win a close one. I think there's a chance the Niners blow them out. I think there's no chance that the Jets blow out the Niners. So I think I would probably take, on the tease, I would probably tease 7 points to the Niners side, which would make them, Niners +3 or something like that, +3.5, and tease the total up from 43 to like 50, 51, 50.5, something like that, and go under. That's how I'd wager on this game. I would take the Niners to the under. It could be, I don't feel great about the thing not going over because it's such a low total. It's 43. I mean, 24-20 goes over with the total sitting there at 43. So that's not necessarily a particularly high-scoring game. So I feel much better if I teased it up to 50, 51 and go under and take the Niners getting 3 if you can get 3.5. I think Niners +3.5 to the under of 51 is probably where I would wager on this one if I was wagering on the Niners. So there you go. Thanks to Pig and a Pickle for sponsoring the Krug Show. Thanks to Sharp Corner Sports Cards and Collectibles for sponsoring this video. Thanks to all of you guys for supporting the Krug Show on